So today we were excited to talk to you guys about, they're not, like, some of them are myths, some of them are misunderstandings, but questions or ideas that we hear in our chair quite a bit. And we were excited to talk about them and help maybe debunk them or let you know what you think is correct. Hi, welcome to Hairstylists Knows Best.
Hey guys.
Where we, two hairdressers, talk to you about a little bit of anything and everything. And notice today, we are fully vaccinated plus our time. So we're the only two people in the room. So we don't have to be masked anymore. We're so excited.
It is so exciting. It gives us like one little sense of normalcy just to sit next to each other, you know. Who would have ever thought?
Not touching each other, though. We're not touching.
No.
That's crazy talk.
Yeah. How often do you wash your hair, Echo?
I wash my hair about every 2 to 3 days. I used to go every 3 to 4, but with bangs, greasy now.
Yeah. I usually do every other. Sometimes I can hit some dry shampoo on day 2 and make it past day 3. But that's a question a lot of our clients ask us. And it truly depends on what type of hair you have, you know?
I would definitely say 2 to 3 days. That's wonderful. That's great. 3 to 4, 5 with people who have curly hair, because curly hair is just naturally more dry, so it doesn't take as long. People with gray hair can go a little longer. But after like 5 days, you need to be washing your hair. I don't care what type of hair type, texture, anything that you have. You can always use a cleansing conditioner if you don't want to dry it out because you feel shampoo does dry it out. But I'm going to say 5 days max.
I do have those clients that push that dry shampoo to the limit. I think Echo does too. But after that many days of dry shampoo, you're worried about drying your hair out. But that dry shampoo is dehydrating your hair to pull all the oils out. So all you've done is just kept that oil out of that hair for days and days and days and days. So,
and you are keeping that dried product on your scalp,
yes.
And it's not good scalp health either.
No.
So, if you wash your hair every day and you think there's no way I can push through, it does take time. It takes about 21 days for your body to have a little bit of a reset. So it is about 3 weeks of gnarly, greasy hair on day 2. But I do encourage everyone to push through.
Yeah. So either way, dry shampoo, washing every day. There's a happy medium. Break the cycle. So,
another thing, people, after we've had our babies or after we've gained weight, people will say, how do I get rid of stretch marks? There's actually no way to get rid of stretch marks. There are products that will cause your skin to turn over faster to do what your body would naturally do. So your body naturally will turn over new skin cells, which will cause them to fade a little bit. They'll go from like a really dark purple into a lighter pink. If they start as a light pink, they may go white. But there's actually nothing. It is torn tissue. It is a scar. It's scar tissue is what's there. So there are products that will help fade them faster. But other than that, there's really nothing you can do.
Nothing. So this one's a good one for you because you do have a little bit of larger pores. So how do you minimize pores?
Again, you can't minimize your pores. There's no such thing as minimizing your pores.
Exactly.
What you can do is if you imagine cutting your orange in half, and if there's a little bit of a skin there, it makes a larger circle.
Okay.
So if you slough off as much skin as you can, you're going to the back side of the sphere. So that part of the circle is a little less.
I see.
So if you keep your skin extremely exfoliated, you're going to have the smallest pore size because you don't have a buildup of skin that's giving it that larger circumference.
Okay.
But you're not minimizing the pore. You're just taking away all of the slough on top of it. So again, you can't, that's just your pore size.
This is a really good one. Color takes better on dirty hair. There's two people. One is Larissa Love. I follow her. She's a Joyco ambassador. And then there is Brad Mondo. Everybody knows who Brad Mondo is on YouTube. I love him. Larissa says to come in with dirty hair because your natural oils will protect your scalp. Mm-hmm. Where Brad Mondo says, do not come in with dirty hair because the color needs to be able to penetrate properly into your cuticle. So, I'm okay with people being like a day or two maybe, but if you're coming in here with 10 days of funk and dry shampoo, no.
Even for me, if you use a really heavy hairspray, I don't want that on your hair the day that I'm coloring it because that's definitely causing a barrier for the color to get into. And those dry shampoo colors, how people will put on any of the things to like try to, I just put a little bit on to cancel out the gray. It's like, well, again, that's putting a really big barrier on top of that gray, and we're usually dealing with really stubborn gray in that situation.
Plucking gray hairs. Does that make more grow? No.
You have to think about this. If you pull a hair out of a hair follicle, how does that cause that hair follicle to become like twins that just split and create two hair follicles? That's just never going to happen. You cannot create. If that was the case when my husband was going bald, I would have just started plucking that shit and doubling those hair follicles so he had more hair. What it does, I don't want people plucking their gray hairs because you're pulling them out, you're causing trauma to that hair follicle. So the hair that grows out of it then grows out like, and so it's growing out like and sticking out everywhere and looking real fuzzy instead of just growing out in a natural, smoother pattern.
I have a client who's pretty obsessive with plucking her gray hairs and then gets upset because they look like, you know, those hairs have been stuck in a light socket, sticking out everywhere. But again, you're pulling that out and then it grows back in. It's going to stick up like a sore thumb sitting on top of your head where you have all these little grays growing back in. So then you assume that, oh my gosh, look at all these grays that grew back in. But you've plucked every single one of it.
So this is another one that is near and dear to my heart. If I shave my hair, will it grow back thicker, faster? Again, my husband shaves his head every other day. He should be a chia pet at this point if this truly was what was happening. There is a whole thing. Really, shaving is probably one of the best things you can do to get rid of hair because it doesn't damage your hair follicle in any way, shape, or form. But when it grows back, it's that really coarse because you've blunted it off in the middle of the hair shaft. So there's no softness to it. So it grows back. I just touched
stubble.
Right at my chin.
We both tend to do that.
So the stubble feels like there's probably more there because you can feel each individual hair. But there is not more hair, and it's not growing any faster. It's at the exact same rate as it was before.
So this kind of ties into that. Regular trims help your hair grow faster. There are a couple of different reasons for that. Echo, you state your reason, I'll state mine. But they are both true. So
one of these things is not like the other. Okay, so my thought is when you are not getting regular trims, the ends of your hair are dry and brittle, and they're split. So more often they're going to break off, and therefore you can't get a chance for it to grow nice and long because it's constantly breaking and withery looking. So if you're constantly just getting a little bit of it knocked off, then it's keeping those ends where they're not going to break off on their own. So you're gaining as much growth as you can without nature giving you a nature cut, we'll call it.
So the scientific reason behind this is, yes, you don't get a trim, your ends split open. There's many different layers to your hair, and the very center part of your hair has an actual liquid called the medulla, okay? And imagine like a river that flows up and down at the same time. That's your medulla. So if those ends are split open, your actual, if you could look under a microscope, you would see the little end of the liquid leaking out of your hair. But if that end is cut off, then that seals off that medulla where it's flowing nicely up and down your hair shaft, letting your root grow. So that's the science behind it. And I don't know much science, but when it comes to hair stuff, I enjoy hair science. So, but that's the scientific reason. So we're both correct because Echo's right. It's just going to break off and not grow because that medulla is leaking.
Leaky medulla.
Leaky medulla. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Also, the whole time I wasn't 100% following you because in my head I was just around the river bend.
Oh
like
my
that's
God.
just all I was really thinking about when you did that.
Gosh.
But I'll go back and rewatch it and listen better. My hair grows faster in the summer. There is I'm not going to say it's scientific because this could be debunked easily, possibly. So my thought is, and I think the census is that in the summer, you're hotter. When you're hotter, your head gets more circulation, blood flows there. So therefore, if there's more blood flow into your hair follicles are getting more nutrients. Therefore, you have the healthiest hair follicle in warm months so that your hair will grow more. If you live somewhere like Florida, it probably doesn't change very much because you're probably hot majority of the year. But somewhere like where we are, we have changes of the seasons. There's a possibility that causes it.
And some people believe that it's from our Neanderthal days where we grew a winter coat, just like dogs or animals do, shed more in the winter and then, backwards. Shed more, but so it grows faster in the summer for a winter coat. But again, that's from evolution, another evolutionary person's point of view is that's from our Neanderthal days. So, but scientifically, everything's going different this summer. So but so this one's really hilarious, Echo.
Okay.
And I'm calling Echo out on this because it's going to help my teaching right now. How many weeks has it been since you did your roots?
How many weeks have we been doing this show? We're on, this is episode, well, it's 12 maybe? 12 weeks?
Okay.
No, 10 to 12 weeks.
So, my clients want to know, at their touch-ups, why does their color fade off their roots quicker than it does everywhere else? Fade off. So your roots have faded the color.
My roots are so faded right now. They are so faded, ashy and darker. They have faded darker.
They have faded darker. Mm-hmm. How does that happen?
Here's your sun.
Yes. So that is your new growth. That is not where your color has faded off of those roots. That is where your hair has grown. So there was a few answers about questions that our clients have asked us here and there about different things with their hair, and that's the best way we know how to answer them, and that's the best we can do. Actually, when they're sitting in our chair and ask us these questions, I'm like, and a lot of times, when people's hair is falling out for, we don't know, I'm like, the best thing to do is go see your doctor, because there could be some underlying something that we don't know because we aren't doctors. But I always say, maybe you schedule a trip to your doctor and see, about blood work, because so many different factors affect our hair.
Absolutely. And if there's any that we've missed, I'm sure once we post this, we'll think, oh God, what about that one? So I'm sure there'll be another edition of this, or in the comment section, write one of the ones that you think is true or something you've heard, and we would love to answer it. If we don't know the answer, we'll just bullshit and make it up. You'll believe us. Yeah. Or we'll Google it, which is almost the same as,
bullshitting,
making it up.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So remember to like and subscribe, guys. Give us comments about what you want to know about your hair, or what we don't know about your hair.
Or what you think you know about your hair.
Right.
Talk to you soon.
Thanks, guys.